within this Shiva Shakti principle, there are 5 different aspects. There's creation, there's maintenance, and there's dissolution, first of all, right? In the universe, the whole universe unfolds. It's created and unfolds. It comes from that very subtle vibration in the field of Shiva Shakti. And then vibrations mix with each other, become more and more complicated and slow down and become this universe and us, you know. But still within that is the original Shiva Shakti, is in us still. I mean, it's logical. How can this mystical energy give rise to our being here and then we are separate from it? I mean, what kind of logic is that?
No.
It just isn't logical. So of course we still are that. So it's that creativity, and then there's the maintenance of that, you know, it stays for a while, and then it dissolves. It goes back to where it came from. And this is a cycle that we can feel in ourselves. You know, we are born, we live, we die. Thoughts are born, they live, they die. Relationships are born, they live, they die, etc., etc. So if we can accept and work with that instead of being upset about it, then it's much better. So those are the 3 major aspects of the Shiva Shakti. But then there are 2 more. There is this weird tendency that is natural to everyone to cover up who we really are. It's like a veiling effect. You know, we get locked into limited knowledge rather than that deepest knowledge that's possible. We have a natural resistance and a natural kind of clouding over who we really are. Now, why does the Shiva Shakti do that? Why does God do that, if you want? Well, they say the only answer is, well, it's the play of consciousness. It's the play of God. It's Shiva's dance, you know? He likes to cover it over so that we can have the great experience of discovering it. And that's the dance of life. Who we really are at the core is the universal will. This is, you know, we are Shiva's will. But we tend to, through our upbringing and focus on the ego and so forth, we tend to get a lot of different illusions about what our own will is for. And we get stuck in it, you know? And there's nothing wrong with having your ambitions and wanting this and goals and so on, but if you can let it go a little bit and see, well, I am just acting out Shiva's will, or the will of that deeper energy in me, and let that deeper will guide you a little bit, then I think then there's a lot less trouble in the world, because so many people are following an ego will that is really just egoistical and creates a lot of conflicts. So in that basic Shiva Shakti, there is ultimate will, there's ultimate action, you know, the ability to move, and the ability to have knowledge. So we want to move from, as much as possible, from limited knowledge, which is knowledge that is veiled over, covered with too much of the stuckness in ego, to a deeper knowledge. And literally, physically, what happens as you surrender to this deeper energy in yourself, then the energy rises up your spine and it purifies your system, and then information comes in the form of wisdom rather than in the form of willful thoughts and behavior. And that which comes from a deeper place is, as a rule, much more beneficial to you, to us, and to people around us than the other. And with that deeper awareness and wisdom, we can move in a different way in the world. You know, with a different attitude. And a different vibration in us, which will open things for other people as well. But it's something that, you know, until you start to experience it, it's just a theory. So you have to kind of allow it to happen and be observant as to what is the difference. And we all have the training of wanting to control everything, don't we? And when we feel that, it should become a symbol or a message to us that, okay, I need to let go more. And then listen to what is deeper in the situation that benefits me and benefits the others. And this deeper state, as I said, you know, we cannot read or think our way into contact with it. This is why it's useful to have a teacher. I mean, in the West, you know, of course there's a huge allergy. Ooh, somebody's trying to control me. Well, this you have to use your own basic inner sense of. I'm just grateful that I met my teacher. I don't try to be like him. I haven't parked next to him, you know, in order to create some kind of cult. I'm just grateful to have had him as a door to walk through. And this should be the purpose, you know. If you really use the contact to allow your deeper inner self to stand up and become operative in your life, this is the only purpose of it. And then, you know, all of these things that we tend to judge, oh, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that, or whatever, this one is bad, and so on and so forth. You let all that go, and then you see that all of these things that are related to this veiling aspect are just superficial qualities. And they don't have to be problems, they can just be interesting peculiarities. You know, I have interesting peculiarities. I can't be somebody I'm not, really. I can only be the best person that I can be. That's all. Why should I try to be Rudy, my teacher? You know, I mean, he was much bigger than me in every way, and I'm happy for that. So this takes a certain understanding, you know, about what the purpose of all this is. And then when this state is awakened in you, maybe you have a glimpse of it, or you have a little bit of a different feeling in yourself, then this state starts to teach you, you know. The guru principle is in you. You haven't, and this is the fifth aspect. I talked about the three basic ones, and then the veiling aspect, which is the fourth. The fifth is grace. That there is a way to free yourself. And this is where, you know, the awakening is very important. And it's very, very difficult to awaken it on your own without some contact with that state in somebody else. And you experience yourself most of the time with people out there in the world, it's egos interacting. Isn't it, most of the time? I mean, some people are kinder than others and so on, but basically there are egos interacting. And the purpose of what we're doing here is not to have an ego interaction, but to have an energy interaction. As much as possible free of the ego, so that we can be informed from that deeper state to learn from our inner guru aspect. Guru means, you know, the dissolution of obstacles. Gets rid of obstacles, gets rid of the veiling effect, dissolves it. And then you start to feel that you really have an inner glow. Even though life can be difficult and challenging and so on, there's still that, oh, I'm just so happy to be alive and breathe. But I'm also happy to die. This is also okay. Because it's going to happen. And it happens every day. Doesn't it? We die every time we go to sleep. We die every time we lose somebody we love, etc., etc. We die every time we change inside. So, no death, no life. And this is where we can discover this deeper state that goes beyond life and death, that goes into that which is beyond time and space. And this is just an aha experience that dawns on you. You can have glimpses of it, and then if you really like it, which I think you will, and do, those of you who've had some taste of it, it motivates to go deeper. I just want to be that. I just want to have this love, and at all costs, I will put my money on that. Nothing else matters very much.